Hi, my name is Rachel. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I thought that I would go over all of the ebooks on my TBR, so all of the books that I have on my Kobo, and there are a lot. Maybe like 9 or 10 months ago, near the start of my channel, I did an all the books on my physical TBR video, and my physical TBR has changed so much since then. I've read a lot of things, I've bought new things, and currently they're all packed in boxes, so I can't show you those ones, but I figured since they are all packed away and the majority of my reading for the next at least 2 months is going to be digital, I would tell you what is on my digital TBR. This is going to be one of those videos where I just tell you the book title and the author. I will pop pictures up in the corner as I say them so you can see them, or maybe I'll put it over my head. Who knows? Editing Rachel hasn't figured that out yet. But I will try to move it along quickly because there's quite a few. There's about 200. Without further ado, let's dive in. The Adventures of Amina al-Sarafi by Shannon Chakraborty. Air Awakens by Elise Kova. All Systems Red, first in the Murderbot series by Martha Wells. Almost Surely Dead by Amina Akhtar. The Alone Time by L. Marr. Angels and Demons, Robert Langdon 1 by Dan Brown. Animal Farm by George Orwell. The Archived by Victoria Schwab. The Art of Destiny and the Art of Prophecy by Wesley Chu. Ascendant by Michael R. Miller. The Assassin of Grins and Secrets by K. E. Andrews. Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. The Awakened Kingdom by N.K. Jemisin. The Awakening of Fate by Becca Ann. The Ballad of Black Tom by Victor LaValle. The Bargain with Fate by Becca Ann. Batu and the Search for the Golden Cup by Zira Nurizbai. Beautiful Nightmares by K.J. Sutton. Beauty and the Beast, author unknown. Beneath the Keep by Erica Johansson. Between Ink and Shadows by Melissa Wright. Between the World and Me by Ta-Nehisi Coates. Blood on Her Tongue by Joanna Van Veen. The Blood That Burns the Winter Snow by Ryan Cahill. Bloom by Delilah S. Dawson. Blue Lily, Lily Blue by Maggie Stiefvater. The Bookshop and the Barbarian by Morgan Stang. A Bookshop to Die For by M.P. Black. A Botanical Daughter by Noah Medlock. The Bridge Kingdom by Danielle L. Jensen. The Broken Kingdoms by N.K. Jemisin. A Bump in Buhale by Kimberly Lemming. The Cartographers by Peng Shepard. Cat's People by Tanya Guerrero. Chapter House Dune and Children of Dune by Frank Herbert. The Cinnamon Bun Bookstore by Lori Gilmore. The Citrine Key by L.L. McRae. The Cousins by Karen M. McManus. Curse of the Fallen by H.C. Newell. The Da Vinci Code by Dan Brown. Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Sue Lynn Tan. A Day of Fallen Night by Samantha Shannon. Deadly Dreams by K.J. Sutton. Dear Senthurin, a Black Spirit Memoir by Akweke Emezi. Death at Morning House by Maureen Johnson. A Declaration of the Rights of Magicians by H.G. Perry. Defiant by Michael R. Miller. Dragonsteel Prime by Brandon Sanderson. The Dream Thieves by Maggie Stiefvater. A Drop of Corruption by Robert Jackson Bennett. Dune and Dune Messiah by Frank Herbert. The Electric Air by Victoria Lee. An Ember in the Ashes by Saba Tahir. The Emperor's Edge by Lindsay Baroker. Endless Terrors by K.J. Sutton. Evil Eye by Etaf Rum. The Exile and the Fall by Ryan Cahill. A Fate Inked in Blood by Danielle L. Jensen. The Fate of the Cheerling by Erica Johansson. Fear the Flames by Olivia Rose Darling. The Fever King by Victoria Lee. Five Survive by Holly Jackson. Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. God Emperor of Dune by Frank Herbert. Brave Empire by Richard Swan. Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater. The Hanging City by Charlie N. Holmberg. The Haunting of Tramcar 15 by P. Jelly Clark. Hazelthorn by C. G. Drews. Heretics of Dune by Frank Herbert. X by Thomas Old Hevolt. Hyde by Kirsten White. The 100,000 Kingdoms by N.K. Jemisin. The Hunger by Alma Katsu. Hungerstone by Kat Dunn. Hunters of Dune by Brian Herbert. The Huntress by Andrew L. Miller. The Hurricane Wars by Taya Guanzin. The Ice by Ryan Cahill. Inferno by Dan Brown. Ink Blood Sister Scribe by Emma Tors. The Invasion of the Tierling by Erica Johansson. The Iron Crown by L.L. McRae, The Isle in the Silver Sea by Tasha Suri, Jaeth's Eye by K.S. Veloso, Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, The Jasad Heir by Sarah Hashem, The Jasmine Throne by Tasha Suri, Jaws by Peter Benchley, The Justice of Kings by Richard Swan, Keeper of Enchanted Rooms by Charlie N. Holmberg, Kiki's Delivery Service by Aiko Kadono, The Kingdom of the Gods by N.K. Jemisin, Kingdoms at War by Lindsay Buroker, Knock Knock Open Wide by Neil Sharpson, A Language of Dragons by S.F. Williamson, The Last Guardian by Michael R. Miller, The Last Hope School for Magical Delinquents by Nikki Pau-Preto, The Last Pendragon by Sarah Woodbury, The Last Fee Hunter by Selene Goldenberg, The Last Stand of the Stone Fist by Michael R. Miller, The Last Storm by J.D. Linton, Lenny Among Ghosts by Frank Maria Reifenberg, Level Unknown and Level Ascension by David Dalglish, The Lies of Locke Lamora by Scott Lynch, Listen to Your Sister by Nina Veal, Lost Gods by Brahm, The Lost Symbol, Dan Brown, Maeve Fly by C.J. Lead, A Man Called Ove by Frederick Bachman, Mexican Gothic by Sylvia Moreno Garcia, Middle Game by Shauna Maguire, My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix, The Naturalist Society by Carrie Vaughn, Nettle and Bone by T. Kingfisher, Never Whistle at Night, an Indigenous dark fiction horror anthology by Shane Hawk and other authors, The New Handbook for a Post-Roe America by Robin Marty, The New Jim Crow by Michelle Alexander, The Night Swim by Megan Golden, The Ninth Reign by Jen Williams, Of Jade and Dragons by Amber Chen, One of Us is Lying, One of Us is Next, and One of Us is Back by Karen M. McManus, Of Blood and Fire, Of Darkness and Light, and Of War and Ruin by Ryan Cahill, Onyx and Ivory by Mindy Arnett, Opal by Maggie Stiefvater, Ordinary Monsters by J. M. Miro, Origin by Dan Brown, Our Dark Duet by Victoria Schwab, Parable of the Sour by Octavia E. Butler, Peace and Turmoil by Elliot Brooks, Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, The Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Lori Gilmore, Queen of Shifting Sands by Caitlin Carter Brown, The Queen of the Tierling by Erica Johansson, The Raven King by Maggie Stiefvater, The Reappearance of Rachel Price by Holly Jackson, The Reborn King by Michael R. Miller, Rhapsodic by Laura Thalassa, Bridge Day 1 by Sean P.B. Robinson, Rosewater by Tade Thompson, Sandworms of Dune by Brian Herbert, The Seventh Bride by T. Kingfisher, Shades in Shadow by N.K. Jemisin, The Shadow Gate by L.L. McRae, Shatter Me by Tahira Mafi, She is a Haunting by Trang Than Tran, Sheep Farmer's Daughter by Elizabeth Moon, Silence is Silver by Andrew Watson, Six Wild Crowns by Holly Race, Someone You Can Build a Nest In by John Wiswell, Soul of the Prophet by David Angelo, Spy Family Volume 1 by Tatsuya Endo, The Staircase in the Woods by Chuck Wendig, Starter Villain by John Scalzi, A Strange Hymn by Laura Thalassa, The Stroke of Winter by Wendy Webb, The Teller of Small Fortunes by Julie Long, The Terrifying Tales by Edgar Allan Poe, There's No Way I'd Die First by Lisa Springer, This Savage Song by V.E. Schwab, This Will Be Fun by E.B. Asher, Throne of the Fallen by Carrie Maniscalco, Tokyo Ghoul Volume 10, Volume 11, Volume 12, Volume 13, and Volume 14 by Sue Ishida, Trader's Blade by Sebastian D. Castell, Who Can Keep a Secret by Karen M. McManus, The Tyranny of Faith and the Trials of Empire by Richard Swan, The Unbound by Victoria Schwab, Unbound by Michael R. Miller, The Unbroken by C. L. Clark, The Unfortunate Side Effects of Heartbreak and Magic by Brianne Randall, Ushers, A Short Story, Veiled Intentions by Michael R. Miller, The Warm Hands of Ghosts by Catherine Arden, We Are Here to Hurt Each Other by Paula D. Ashe, We Ate the Dark by Mallory Pearson, We Sold Our Souls by Grady Hendrix, What Moves the Dead and What Feasts at Night by T. Kingfisher, When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker, Where Sleeping Girls Lie by Ferda Abike Emide, The Whisper of Dragons by Michelle Pickard, White is for Witching by Helen Oyeyemi, The Willows by Algernon Blackwood, The Witchwood Knot by Olivia Atwater, The Wolf by Leo Carew, The Woodsmoke Woman's Book of Spells by Rachel Greenlaw, Wrath by John Gwynn, 0 Days by Ruth Ware. As you can see, I have a lot of ebooks on my TBR. I would love to know if you've read any of these and which ones you think I should prioritize since I'm focusing on digital reads for the next at least 2 months, and help me whittle down my digital TBR by suggesting me your favorite ones from this list if you've read any of them. If you've made it this far in the video, leave a frog emoji down in the comments and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!